Good evening, guys. Welcome to another Thursday night interview with the Celtic FC Appreciation Show. It's episode 7. I'm your host, Gaz, and I'm delighted to say joining us tonight is the Celtic FC women's coach, Fran Alonso. Fran, as I said, thanks for taking time out. I know you've got a busy schedule with the girls kind of thing this month, but I really appreciate you coming on, especially so late tonight as well.
No problem. It's a pleasure to be here.
For anybody that might know about your background, I should actually just start by saying, once again, thanks to the sponsors. I'm not actually used to having sponsors yet for the podcast. Club Badge FC, we thank them for their support yet again. Great wee page, go on and give them a like. So as I say, I think you've got 3 levels of youth module. You've coached disabled footballers, 2 levels coaching in the FA. You've got your UEFA licence being A, I think, NVQ and team leading, years and years and years of coaching, 6 years in the Premier League with, you worked under some top coaches like Maurizio Pochettino and Ronald Koeman. So as I say, like, it's an incredibly massive CV. It's an incredible, impressive CV. But you started off coaching women's football with a team, I believe, called Poolborough for a few months while you were on the coaching staff at Southampton. And I think that was under, I'm not sure if it's Pochettino or Koeman, get my dates right, but how was that experience for yourself at Poolborough?
So I started as a translator for a Uruguayan player at Southampton, Gaston Ramirez, who was the most expensive sign at the time. And I started with Nigel Atkins, an English coach, but then he got sacked, and the club appointed Mauricio Pochettino. Then obviously I helped Mauricio, and I was learning so much. The guy is brilliant. He's absolutely a brilliant coach. And I thought it's a shame not to be able to put this into practice. And obviously the best way to do that is just to manage yourself. So I wasn't very long because it was a lot of distance. So I was only a few months there. But I was starting to put in practice what I was learning from Mauricio. And after that, very early, I started with Southampton Women, which obviously was local. And we started to introduce like a much better professional environment, not professional, but a high environment of performance. And we did very, very well. The Southampton Women won 3 leagues in a row. And well, since then, obviously, I always as a volunteer in the women game, always as a volunteer. But it was great. It was great to see girls that struggled to field 11 players on a Sunday to suddenly everyone wanted to come, everyone wanted to train more. It was brilliant, and the impact it made in the lives of those players is fantastic. It's one of the best memories I take from those years, obviously away from the Premier League, which is an experience that is unbelievable.
Yeah, as I say, your time with Southampton ladies, I think they were bottom of the 6th tier when you took them over. How much pride do you take when you see where they are now? Do you know what I mean? Especially, I think, is it I think Simon Parker took them over. Is that your assistant manager, the now kind of thing?
Yeah, so the club, I start saying they struggled to fill 11 players, Southampton Women, and obviously when I started to work with them, just by the fact that I was working with the men team and many of the girls support Southampton, they were delighted. So they start to turn up to every single training session, not missing anything. So the first year we avoid relegation. They were when I joined, we have 1 point after 11 games. So just based on struggling to field 11 players in the 6th year of women football. That year we avoid relegation, and then the next year we won the league losing 1 game, and exactly same the next 2 years. I left, and Simon stayed there as a manager. The first year I helped a little bit as technical director, the club. The most important thing is the environment that we set up there. It was a very successful environment, and now the club is one of the best teams in the 4th year of the women game in England. So very, very proud. It was my first league title as a manager with a women team, and it's an experience that I still remember today. Actually, I got a poster somewhere of the day the girls lift the trophy. It was very, very special.
Yeah, I mean, what I really like about I've been kind of looking up throughout your career. And what I really like is no matter where you go, no matter what club you're at, you take to do with everything. You know, you're especially going through your kind of social media, you know, you retweet everything, you try and get people involved. I know at some of the clubs you've been at, that I know, as you say, it's a voluntarily kind of basis, but what you're doing is basically, you know, you're looking for people to come down and be cameramen at training, and basically, you know, trying to get recruit girls to come and play women's football. Have you had any kind of, trying to think of the word, have you had any kind of problems with recruiting girls to come and play football, in terms of probably in your earlier days kind of thing at Southampton?
I think it was easy because of the reason I say I was a member of the technical staff of the men first team at Southampton. So in the city, obviously, everyone was delighted to try to play for us. Just basically, you know, they thought, okay, maybe this guy has learned something from Pochettino that I can use to become a better footballer. So the recruitment actually was one of the key elements why we succeed so much at the club. Top players that could play a higher level, they decide to play for us. And yeah, you know, I joined on my own, and then after a few months, I got 9 members of staff. All volunteers. I was volunteer, and so everyone else. I got the help as well from 2 players, from Gaston Ramirez and Paulo Casaniga, Spurs keeper now on loan at Elche, who pay for the training facilities for the girls to help. So everyone was helping. It was a unbelievable project, and we really make a big difference on those girls. Up to today, I still in talk with some of those girls. You know, we became like friends. So it's fantastic. That's, for me, this is what is football. That's why I'm a manager. I'm a manager, or I'm a coach, because I would love to contribute as much as I can to society, to the community, using football as a tool, which is something that make people move, because many people are passionate about football. I am as well. So that's the tool I try to use to try to change life in a positive manner. And when it happens, is something very, very rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah, I think when you look at the rise that women's football has taken, especially over the last few years, you know, it's all credit to the girls and everybody behind the scenes that kind of make it happen, like you guys, and you know, the effort you put in, the hours you put in, kind of thing. And even especially for yourself, when you think, you know, you were doing it to kind of volunteer, in terms of when you went to Everton and you were at Southampton, it was just, you know, your love for football, your passion for football, kind of thing. And obviously your success, you had it, as you mentioned, in Southampton. You beat Wycombe 4-2 to gain promotion to the First Division Northern tier. I think, did you reach the League Cup final, I think, that year as well? I mean, how proud were you of the girls for achieving that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Our girls that you know, didn't, as a group, because the club was very successful. Southampton women in the 17s won 4 FA Cups in a row. There is a little bit of debate between 2 Southampton clubs, but you know, one team in Southampton won 4 FA Cups, so it was very successful. The city in terms of the women game, but obviously that group where I work with, they never won anything. So from not winning anything and almost losing every game to become a team that was dominant in the city, and not only in the city but outside, it was fantastic. It was fantastic to see girls that lack of confidence, how they behave but without being professional. They didn't get paid or anything like that. They actually paid to play football, but they behave like professional. We were doing our pre-activation, our warm-up, everything structured, everything. I was doing everything like I was seeing the guys at Southampton do. And the girls were loving it, and it became a very good team, very well drilled tactically. The girls became very knowledgeable, and we were very strong as a team. So yeah, the first year, that year that we won the league, we lost the cup final against a higher division team in the final, but the next year was double, the league and the cup. Winning. So yeah, it was fantastic. Fantastic for the girls, for the community, for the city, and you know, within the lack of resources, it's a club that is still going, and it's a well-run club now. And you know, we practically build it from scratch.
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, we want you to get involved. Send any questions or comments you have in to myself or Fran, and we'll try and get them answered. Also, if you enjoy the show, enjoy what we're doing, it's only in infant stages, and hopefully we're going to build it up properly for next season, get it properly edited and produced. We are available to download on Spotify, other good podcast apps available. Just search Celtic FC Appreciation Show, click subscribe and click follow. Fran, just going back to when you mentioned a couple of players, Gaston Ramirez and Paulo Gazzaniga, I believe they contributed to the training facilities as well as the club donating home and away kits of the men's team for the women. How much of a help was that at the time, kind of thing?
Yeah, at the time it was not only obviously the Southampton help by donating the home and away kit. Obviously, it's a hell when you get a kid when you struggle to and you have to pay for training facilities, for registration, etc. But it's also the pride that these girls took in wearing that kit. In many cases, the club that they support. We are talking about 60-year. We are not talking about professional football. So yeah, it was a great support, and everyone felt there that they were the best footballer in the world, although they were in the 60-year. So it was very important, and without the help of everyone, we couldn't have done it. And I can, I was designing the logo, running the website. I mean, I did things that obviously all of us, we did everything what we could to help. And as a group, we achieved something fantastic. So that's why it's so rewarding. And even today, I think that was 2013. So it's been a while. And even today, I remember it perfectly. Even if obviously after that, I've been in a few clubs and I experienced a few games of high level.
Yeah, I think that's it. I love to see that, especially kind of, when you look at how it doesn't matter how much men get paid. I know there's a big difference in terms of obviously they're trying to kind of get equal pay for the women's game as well. But in terms of it's just great to see two guys like that helping you out and helping you get to the stage where you're at. In terms of some comments coming in, Keith Corcoran from Come On Hoops page. Great to get the gaffer in. Keep up the good work. Come on, you girls in green. Danny McElhenney says you would have been better playing Celtic's women's team against Rangers on Sunday. Would have got a better performance. Celtic were shocking. Yeah, Celtic have been shocking in the men's game, and thankfully for Fran and the girls, they're kind of keeping their spirits up for this season. In terms of Ronald Koeman offered you a job. Or offered you a place with Everton men's side, but I understand he had to kind of fight to get you in the door. Was there a delay in getting you in, or did you not want to were you reluctant in leaving Southampton?
So I love Southampton. It's the club that gave me the chance, and I am a very passionate guy, and loyalty is one of the things that I value. So I love the club. I was happy there. But I also, I quite got a great relationship with Ronald Koeman, and I thought for my career he was, key. I mean, I learned so much from him. He's a top manager, knowledgeable, and man-on-man management is, I think, he's fantastic. So he went to Everton, and he mentioned in the past that if he will take me, but he went to Everton. And I was there. I was happy. We just won the league with the girls, so I was delighted. And I was already planning the next season with the girls. And then the first offer came, and I was like, oh. I in one hand I was looking forward to join him again, but in another hand I was happy at Southampton. The ladies team just won. I was very excited, and then he said, "Okay, give me a week." And the following week, he improved the offer, but mainly he said, "Look, and I'm gonna get you involved at Everton ladies as well." And then I thought, okay, I cannot let him down. He need me there and with him. So yeah, I decided to move to Everton, and then obviously another experience that is unbelievable. I love the city. I love the club. We have a very very successful first year. Everything was fantastic. I get to work with with some top players. I also did that. So Southampton, don't get me wrong, I work with Sadio Mane or Virgil van Dijk. So that's world-class players as well. But, Theo Walcott, Wayne Rooney, players that I support. Even I follow even before I was in professional football. So that was, quite nice to try to talk to them and learn from their experiences with the top managers they were, like Sir Alex Ferguson or Arsene Wenger. So imagine the knowledge that these players got from their career. So yeah, I mean, it's like, for me, it was like being in the best university in the world. I was like a sponge, trying to learn every day, trying to work as hard as I could, and trying to help the team. And yeah, I don't regret anything I have done in my career in terms of teams, but I got a very good memory of every team I've been, because I've been treated very well, and I always give my very best to every club I am. So yeah, that's pretty much how happened the Everton transfer.
Yeah, because that's another thing that I've noticed, especially kind of looking through your socials, that the everybody that works with you always has a good word to say for you. They absolutely love your philosophy in football and what you're doing, and the fact that you're giving up so much of your time to kind of help these clubs. And was there a kind of 50-50 split in terms of working with the men's team and working with the women's team at Everton, or was it, did you have a preference of you'd rather go to the women's side kind of thing?
No, I mean, at Everton, I was a first team member of staff, so that was my job. That's what I was paid for. My involvement with Everton Ladies was as a volunteer as well. It was just a volunteer role. So obviously, I did a few games with Everton Ladies, but I didn't do every game. Away games, I didn't do any game with Everton Ladies, because my priority was obviously with the men's side, and I was on the bench with the team. So yeah, I did what I could. It was mainly focused on being in every training session, because they train in the evening, so I always was free in the evening. Everton men train in the morning, so I did all the sessions I could and tried to help. I wasn't the manager. I was just helping as a coach, but I just love to be involved and try to share the knowledge that I learned from these guys, because at the end of the day, this is what make all of us better coaches, to just share and learn from each other.
Yeah, I think it was 2017 that you took the reins with Liverpool Feds. I don't know if I've got that date right, but 2017 I've got is now, obviously in football, especially in Glasgow, it's virtually unheard of that you would take two teams from the same city and kind of coach them, in terms of, obviously I don't think it's happened up here, but obviously in terms of the Liverpool Feds, what was that? Was that just another women's team? Were they in a different division to Everton Ladies?
Yeah, so that's it was in the fourth year of women game. In the fourth year, Liverpool Feds is a independent team. It's not linked with Everton or Liverpool. But they were a good footballing team, and already they were a good footballing team. So I saw them, and I quite like how they played. And then the opportunity came, and I wanted to have this managerial experience, not only as a coach, but I wanted to actually, I miss what happened at Southampton Women. So I wanted actually to put my philosophy there, not necessarily help with somebody else's philosophy. So yeah, we took the team, and again, it was the first year very successful. We finished second, and the second year we won the first trophy in the history of the club, which is great, because it's one of the pictures that when I signed for Celtic is this huge trophy, which is bigger than me. That is in the picture. So that was a very special one as well, because that group of players, they play great football, but they haven't been lucky enough to they went in several finals actually, but they never lifted a trophy before, and we did it together. So again, another great experience, of course, as a volunteer, of course, putting my time and trying to do as much as I could in terms of the website and social media, things that is hobbies of mine. But yeah, similar to what I did at Southampton, try to do as much as I can to help, and obviously with the passion and the enthusiasm that you see players, being successful and working hard for a reward. So it was fantastic as well. Great experience for me, and I think for everyone involved in the club.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of stole my thunder there. I was just going to say about the trophy. I've seen the photo. I don't know if it's bigger than the European Cup. It certainly looks heavier than the European Cup. it's an incredible emotions when you see those photos online and you see how happy you are. I don't know if I actually thought you were drinking something out of the cup, to be honest. I think you were just kissing it. But again, that was, I think, I don't know if you said it, but that was against your local rivals, Mossley Hill. And, I mean, the celebrations must have went on long into the night.
Yeah, I mean, these are the games that you always dream about. I've been lucky enough to experience 2 Glasgow derbies since I signed for Celtic, and I'm so thankful. We both times we won 1-0, and the happiness when you score and in the final whistle is just indescribable. And I'm just kind of new here. I've been 14 months, but with 2 lockdowns. So, but it's just you. The passion of the people, and that final that you mentioned, it was the same. It was 2 local rivals, obviously at the 4th year, but big rivalry between both clubs. Normally it was the other way around, so the opponents were the more successful team in the previous years, and we managed to beat them in the final, and it was fantastic experience. But yeah, I kind of like love. I would say I would love the derby days. I struggled to sleep the night before, many times the night after, but I'm lucky enough to have experienced good results in those games, and that's is a very amazing experience that I want to repeat as much as I can.
I think you mentioned not being able to sleep the night before. I've been there with you with the men's team. To be honest, many an occasion, especially when I was younger, that you couldn't sleep. You were thinking about the game, and I'm not even a manager or a coach. I'm just a fan. So God knows how you guys struggle to sleep at night. But just in terms of talking about cup finals you've been in, kind of thing, does the preparations change in terms of? It depends obviously at what club you're at. Does the preparations change for yourself, or are you the same mindset for most cup finals? Do you have like superstitions that you do or anything, or do you plan everything the same with every club?
No, if I am honest, it's always different. I don't have the same routine. It depends how I see the team. Of course, you not always get it right, but I always try to spot what the team need more. Are we lacking confidence? Are we lacking energy? Are we lacking aggression? What is the most important part? For example, the cup final that we were talking, I contact all the family members of the players without the players knowing. And I put a video of 20-30 seconds of the family members wishing them good luck for the final. Everyone was crying before the kickoff. I didn't know, what I've done. But actually, it worked so well. We totally dominate. I think we got like 81% possession that game. We create like 14-15 chances. We only won 1-0, but we dominate the game. We play fantastic. So it did work at the end, although I was concerned. The last game, for example, against Rangers, it was totally different. It was a more aggressive team talk. Obviously, within being nice, but a bit aggressive, because I knew the game was in how hard we can fight, how focused we can be, and how much we want it in our home in Celtic Park to get the points. So it's totally different. Every game is different, and as I say, sometimes you get it wrong, but I'm lucky enough that the last few I remember, derbies, it's been wins and clean sheets actually. So yeah, I'm delighted about that.
And in 2018, you left both Everton and the Feds to take charge of University of Liverpool Firsts. You won your debut game 4-2. Again, it was a local derby. You seem to have a knack for winning derby matches. That was literally going to be my question. You have a knack of winning derby matches. You obviously won two Glasgow derbies. I think there's one still to come. But what did your job entail at the University of Liverpool First?
I was the manager of the first team of the university. I mean, while I was at Everton, I was approached by the university. Just at the time, it was too much commitment, so I couldn't. And then when I got sacked by Everton, when Marco Silva joined Everton, he brought obviously his own people, so I got sacked. And then that's the first opportunity I got, and I say, okay, why not? Rather than be waiting for another job, I can take this one, and I absolutely love the experience as well. It was different. Really, I was used to something different in terms of professionalism. Uni football is not the same than Premier League, but it was a very good experience. Again, guys that they wanted to learn, they wanted to be successful, and I believe the year before they avoid relegation in the last game. And by the time I left the team, because I signed for Lewis in the championship, we were second and with options of win the league as well. So we did fantastic. And this is probably, I have to say, one of the teams that our impact in terms of coaching was bigger. It's a team, it was very direct, very physical, and it became an unbelievable team in possession, playing 1-2 touches with unbelievable quality. I was so surprised. I watched those games. I still watching those games because I really like how the lads play. So yeah, another good experience. As I say before, so far I don't regret any decision. Every club I've been has given me a different experience. I've learned different things, and that made me a more complete professional. And I'm delighted, actually, and I'm very, very glad that I took the steps I have taken until my last one, which is obviously Celtic.
Yeah, you obviously, as you said, you mentioned Lewis FC. Obviously, I was reading up on them kind of thing. In terms of they're an independent club run by the people for the people. I know they were the first club to treat both the men and the women's team equally in every way. Was that a big pull for your decision to go there in terms of the way they run the club?
It was key. I started support Lewis before I joined them. I was supporting them for a year or even over a year before, just because it was the first club and the only in the world that pay women and men equally. My sister played football when she was a little girl, and I have to hear so many comments that I shouldn't have here. And that's probably one of the reasons why I always wanted to contribute in the women game. And the fact that Luis was brave enough to come out in the wall and these new ideas, I really love. I felt identified with the club straight away. And then when I met the directors, I thought, wow, these guys are great. And then, it was a very easy decision. It was an easy decision in terms of moving from Liverpool to Lewis. Obviously, it's a big change, a big distance. But yeah, it was a great decision. Love my time there, love the community, love the club, and I'm still a Lewis owner right now. So yeah, I can only say good things about that and about my experience there, especially with the community and with the team and the team players and staff and the directors.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know you moved down to Sussex. I think that would have been some commute, to be honest, every day, especially. But in terms of you won the Chairman's Cup with a 3-1 win in the final. What was the idea behind the Chairman's Cup? Was that like a rebranded League Cup, or was it a local kind of thing that you played in?
The Chairman Cup.
Yeah, I think that was what it was called. I'm sure it was called the Chairman's Cup.
It might be me before my time.
Was that before your time?
Yeah. Unfortunately, at Lewis, we won a few games. We played a few great games, including a great, almost great result against Chelsea. We lost 2-1 in the last conceding in the last 10 minutes. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't win any cup.
As I say, I would say I'd sack my researcher, but I'm my researcher, so as I say, no brownie points for me. Peter McDonald's got a question. He says, I watch the girls more than the men's team. Better football. The coach is so good. In terms of you came up against Southampton. Obviously a strong sentimental attachment, as you say. But how was your emotions that day? Did you just have your game face on, or did it mean a wee bit more to you because the opponents were Southampton?
You mean when I play Lewis against Southampton?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a special feeling. We actually played very well that game, and I think we won the game. But it was a little bit weird feeling. That was the first time I faced Southampton women, and yeah, it's the preparation is not. It was actually a friendly game before actually the season start. Obviously, we knew they got so many youth internationals. They are doing things well there. They're still low in terms of the pyramid. They're in fourth tier, but they got the very good structure in place to go up in the divisions. And yeah, no, a great memory, of course. Even if it's your old club, when you are in your new club, you always want to win, and you wish them the best, but not for 90 minutes. It's only after the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you left. You left then in January 2020 before coming to Celtic. How did that come about? The move to Celtic.
I saw Celtic play against Blackburn Rovers, a friendly the year before, and that was when Celtic wasn't full time yet. So that's the first time I saw the team play. I saw a few players and I said, oh wow, those girls are good. So I already have my eye on some of them, and then I've been told that they were going to become professional, and then the contact, the interest appear, and then obviously it was once I found out that they were interested in me, I thought Celtic, a club like that. To be fair, I start to love watch Celtic at Southampton changing room. We got a great friendly, but a great fight watching the Glasgow derbies, because I have in the team Stephen Davis, obviously Rangers fan, and then we got in the Celtic side Fraser Forster, Victor Wanyama, Virgil van Dijk, Danny Fox, although Danny Fox didn't consider with any of the others, Josh Hoybel. So we got like 4 or 5 players that were former Celtics. And I remember watching Southampton training ground, watching the Glasgow derby there in the TV with the players, and obviously everyone took their side. Poor Stephen Davis, lovely guy, but he was alone there. So I start to like Celtic then, and obviously when I saw they were interested in me, I thought that's an opportunity that doesn't come too often, and I felt that I have to take it. And yeah, well, today I'm here after 14 months, I think it's been. And it's obviously, like every decision I made in my career, is the right one, and I'm delighted I made it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you mentioned a few ex-Celtic players there, especially Big Virgil. I know Virgil takes a lot of interest still in Celtic. I know Jurgen Klopp has. I know he's got him and Andy Robertson, who's a massive Celtic fan as well. So, it must be so funny, especially being down in England watching it, kind of thing. I've only ever watched one derby game down in England. I was down in London, and it was the 5-1 game. I think it was Brendan Rodgers' first game, and it was so weird celebrating in a different country, kind of thing. It felt just kind of wrong. But in terms of, we were just talking about Celtic. What was your opinion on kind of Scottish football as a whole? Not just Celtic as a massive club, but Scottish football as a whole. I mean, apart from the ex-Celtic players that you mentioned, did you have any kind of experience of Scottish football beforehand?
Yeah, so in the past, obviously, because I've been in the women game for a while. In the past, I've been in contact with a few players playing in the Scottish game, just with possible recruitment, just to bring them to England. Finally, it never happened with any of those players, but that was why to research a player, you have to watch their games, their full games. So I watched several games, and yeah, I can tell that the level of the Scottish League now and the level of the Scottish League 2 years ago is nothing to do. I mean, the Scottish League now is the strongest ever been. The players in the Scottish League are the best players ever to play here. And the competition is the best ever. I mean, you see today the difference between the first and the third is 5 points, and the first and the second are going to play this weekend. So, it's a very, very tight fight, while, in the past you got for 13 years, only one team winning. So my opinion on the Scottish League a few years ago was a league that good potential, but in a phase of progression, if you want. But now it's a league that is attracting top players. It's not losing players, which they used to do in the past. In the past, all the best players went to England or to other countries. Now the best players want to play in Scotland because the league has become much better, because now there are more professional teams. And yeah, it's a totally different scenario. I knew that because when I signed for Celtic, I knew Celtic was becoming professional. I knew Rangers were becoming professional. And obviously that on top of the two top teams at the time were Hibs and City. So that gives you 4 teams that any can win the league. So that made for me a very exciting project. And yeah, it's been like that. It's been fantastic experience, and we've been able to recruit, obviously, in a professional good league, and then you got the Celtic badge to help you recruit, and then that's why we've been able to recruit top players. We got very, very talented players in the team. So I'm delighted.
Yeah, as I say, it is a massive club, and we're delighted that you're part of it. Hayley Smith says, what made you join the women's football team? Well, you've already addressed the first part. What's your favourite part about the job, and what do you think is the hardest part about the job?
My favorite part is always when we have been working so hard during the week, and then the final whistle come and we got the 3 points, which thanks God it has happened every time, but in 3 occasions on my time at Celtic. So it's quite good to get this reward at the end of the week. For us, the game doesn't start in the kickoff. The game starts on Monday. And you know, it's a long week, it's a hard week. So when we get the 3 points, that's the best part, always the best part. To win together as a team, to get the reward for our hard job, that's the best part. And the worst part is obviously when you have to communicate a player, that she needs to move on. That's horrible part of football. As I say before, I am in football because I want to change life in a positive manner. And this is a horrible part of football. It's necessary. We have to do it. I have to do it because that's a job that nobody wants to do, and it's the responsibility of the manager to do it. But yeah, that's the part that I don't enjoy. I actually really, really dislike. I wish I didn't have to do, but of course you have to. Everything have to, and it's part of the job. But definitely don't enjoy that.
Yeah, I think the analysis part of it. I know that they'd asked you to. I think one of your previous clubs had asked you to analyse a game, and I think the approach you've done to it, the amount of detail you gave to it, kind of thing. You can see that there's a lot in that kind of football brain of yours, kind of thing. So obviously, as you say, it's all about getting the best. But not long after you joined, I think Girls won an international trophy, beaten Bayer Leverkusen 7-0. What was more impressive was there was 6 under-18 debutants. Was that a pre-season trophy? And had you came into the club that long before the girls won the trophy?
Yeah, so this was in Gran Canaria. That was my first. I mean, I signed for Celtic one day, and then the next day we traveled to Gran Canaria. So that was a training camp there. We played Leverkusen. We lost 3-1 against Leverkusen, but it was quite impressive because they were in the middle of the season, and that was our first game together in pre-season. That was our pre-season. So it was a great performance, to be honest. And then the next game we play Union Viera, a local team from the Spanish third division. And we beat them 7-0, and we play great football. But I mean, the trophy was a second place trophy, so we don't celebrate at Celtic. We don't celebrate second place trophy. But it was quite nice to actually leave a trophy. Obviously, the size of it wasn't the same that the one in the pictures, but yeah, second places. The girls weren't really delighted to win a second place. But we knew it is the very best we could do because obviously Bayer Leverkusen were first division and they were in the middle of the season, so they were fully fit, and it was our first week of preparation. So, but to be fair, that trip was key for us. We went there like a group of people that didn't know each other. Some of the players know each other, and we came back like a family. And that that's why, obviously we were so successful. And then we played Glasgow City, we beat them. Unfortunately, COVID came, and then that didn't count anymore. But it was fantastic. I wish COVID never came into our lives, but for many reasons, not only for football. But yeah.
Yeah. As I say, I think, as you say, you mentioned COVID, and it's just taken over all of our lives, kind of thing. Rory Callum seems to want to get you in the door as Celtic men's manager. He says, "I think you're the man. I think you're the man to get us back on track." I'm pretty sure you're busy with the girls running, kind of thing. Hannah Walsh says, "What's your opinion on male and female teams integrating?"
I think is necessary. I think there are countries like Mexico where every single male club have to have obligatory a professional female club to be able to play. So I think obviously we are talking about clubs. Football clubs are a key part of the community in my opinion. And the community is formed by male and female. So I think it's very, very important. You see now something unique at Chelsea, where the male and the female section both have made the Champions League final. It's amazing for the city, for the community, for the club. So yeah, I think it's key. I think the more integrated the women team are with the men, the better for everyone. This is something that as a society we have to all do it. I still find some people that say, women, I don't watch women football. Actually some people that never watch women football, they will be surprised of the tempo, the quality, the aggression. It's actually great. It's great. It has grown so much, and obviously physically they are never going to be as strong as male football because this is genetics. But in terms of quality, of technical ability, is the same. I've been in both games, at the top of both games, and I find only physical differences. So excitement, obviously, there are other circumstances like, female footballers that are average smaller, not as tall as male footballers, but they have to defend the same goal, the same side. So obviously there are going to be more goals. That doesn't mean that the female goalkeepers are worse. No, they are smaller and they defend the same side goal. So there are something that we have to take into consideration, but I think, it's key that male and female teams are integrated, and it's key that, if you are a Celtic fan, I think, you should be so proud of supporting the men and so proud of supporting the women. It's the same club, and we both love beat Rangers. So
you can't go wrong when you beat Rangers, I'll tell you. But in terms of, and Hannah Walsh adds to that question, and I don't know how possible this would be. I don't see this happening. I don't know about yourself, but what's your opinion on men and women playing in the same team?
No, I mean, you have some sports like tennis where there is this doubles mix where they play.
Yeah.
I think in football, that's it could be not applicable in my opinion. I think it's good like this, men playing against men and women playing against women, but both getting the same, type of resources. With time, of course, it will come with time. It's not going to come anytime soon, but we are all working towards it, and it's growing a lot. But I personally don't think it could be a disadvantage for the women playing together with men, because physically they are not going to be able to match them.
Yeah, I mean, I know I play sometimes 5-a-side or 7-a-side, and sometimes I know that we've got a couple of girls that genuinely play football professionally, kind of thing. They join in, and as I say, I don't see it happening, but it's a kind of nice thought. It's a nice idea. Let's get on to the league campaign. As I say, COVID played a big part in terms of at the start of your tenure at Celtic, but you beat Glasgow City in your first competitive match in charge of what can only be described, as I said before, off air. It was like biblical proportion weather. It was unbelievable. Rain, wind, the lot. I mean, that must have been so encouraging, but to see the girls battling such conditions and against the best side in the league, potentially the strongest side in the league at the time.
Yeah, that was the first sign I got that this team, it was extremely strong. We conceded a goal. I think we dominate the game. We hit the post and the crossbar, and then we went to halftime. We were so positive. I mean, the weather was horrible, absolutely terrible. I never been in in that weather during a football game. But at halftime, we were so positive. We knew we were the better team, so we were looking forward. And as soon as we start in a second ball in a corner, we concede a goal. And the reaction is what I take from the game. Straight away, in 2 minutes, we score again. Nobody, everyone lifting each other, everyone supporting each other. We score. And then, although they were the favorites and the 13-time champions, the 1-1, nobody in the team, nobody, no staff, no players on the bench, nobody was happy with the 1-1. It wasn't good enough for us, mainly because our fans were there, the spectators were there. At that time, they were allowed, and it was a home game. And, we scored, it was like for a movie. Scored the winning goal in the 92nd minute. The captain scored the goal, who actually had a tough week that week. It was amazing. It was everyone was absolutely delighted. It was magic. It was a magic moment. And unfortunately, the following week we have to stop. And then obviously the league, that league game never count. So we were all gutted about that. But the memory is still with us.
Yeah, I remember watching it on the TV, and just, as I say, Celtic of old, whether it's been men's or women's team, they fight to the final whistle, and that's what you seem to see with your team. In terms of this campaign, we're 5 points off the leaders, Glasgow City, and with 10 wins on the board so far in a busy final few games. What's your assessment of the season so far and how it's went?
I think it went very well for us. Obviously, when we were undefeated until the first lockdown, then the first game we were in a very disadvantaged situation. We play again the champions, Glasgow City, but this time we only got 4 weeks to prepare. But they were fully fit. They were training for 3.5 months, and they also compete in the Champions League. So they not only train for 2.5 months more than us, they also have a competitive game where nobody was allowed. They got this obviously privilege because they were in the Champions League, which is fair enough. But it was a very unfair game. We managed to go to halftime 0-0, but in the second half we couldn't even get there. When we tried to press, we couldn't even get there. We were very unfit because obviously we didn't train for more than 4 weeks. So obviously we lost that game 2-0, and then after that we won every game apart from a draw against Forfar. So I was delighted, and then lockdown came again. We beat the last game. We beat 5-0 Motherwell. Glasgow City lost 5-0 against Rangers, and then we have to play them the following week. So I was looking forward because obviously morally they were a little bit down, and we were very high after a 5-0 win. And then the league stopped again. So obviously I was a little bit gutted. And again the situation when we play them back after the lockdown, we have a poor game. We lost 2-0. And that's the reason why we are 5 points behind. We got 2 defeats against them. But I would have to say my time here, I think, it's been amazing. I cannot blame anything. I think I am very proud of the players. I think they've done a fantastic work. Since that defeat 2-0, we won all 5 games, 15 points from 15 possible, including Rangers, Hibs, Spartans. So it's been very tough, and we managed to win every game. Obviously, we got now Motherwell on Sunday, and then we will have on Wednesday Glasgow City. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very, very positive season. And I think not only in terms of points that we are being very good. I love the football we are playing. I think it's very attractive football, attacking football, and it's games like Sunday against Forfar. I think we play a very, very outstanding football.
Yeah, looking at your results this season, in terms of, I don't know about yourself, but there seems to be a wee bit of nervousness creeping in, especially at K Park at home. I know we've only been beaten twice out the whole campaign, but we've scored 10 at home, conceding 6. In comparison, our away form has been incredible, with massive wins, including a 10-0 win, I think, against Hearts, 6-2, 5-1, and 4-2 victories. Do you feel there's more of a kind of thrive to play away from home kind of thing rather than at home, even without fans, I suppose?
I think obviously normally when we have play away, we are playing in very big stadiums, like Motherwell we play in Airdrie, Glasgow City we play as well in a very, very big stadium. Rangers we play in grass in the training ground. against Spartan Hips, as well, is a very, very nice pitch, wide and big, and I think that suit us, good pitch suit us. I mean, K Park is good, but it's maybe not as big as the others, and when it's hot, the black stuff that the 3G got maybe hold the ball a little bit, so doesn't help to play quick football. And this is something that for us is important, to try to move the ball quickly. And that's probably why our form away from home is better than at home. But of course, we only lost one game at home, and we want to keep like that. We want to make this the fortress, and we don't want any team to take points from us in there. So although in a very hot day, we know it's a little bit harder to play there, but we are the installations, the whole environment is fantastic, and we feel like at home when we are there. So but I agree that the away form has been outstanding. Apart from one game, we've been very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like at home, as I say, we've only been beaten twice, so it's no really. I can't really call it a criticism. The girls are doing so well. In terms of, we mentioned the Derby game against Rangers, another 1-0 victory. Mariah Lee with a late winner. Shades of Samaras's goal at Ibrox 10 years ago, very, very similar in goals. In terms of how was it playing at Paradise under the disco lights?
It was fantastic. Obviously, until now, I kind of remember very well the Glasgow City game that you say, because it was very special and our first big win. But that game, just because it was at Celtic Park, and because the way we fought and we defend and we were organized and we believe how the goal came in the 80th minute, I think it was a unreal experience. We knew before the game, we talked about that in the team. We said we can make an experience that we will remember for the rest of our lives, or we can make an experience that we want to forget tomorrow. So which one we want. And I think everyone bought into it, and you saw the fight, everyone, the togetherness. I think it was a fantastic game against two top teams. I think they play well. I think they play well. They got chances, but the most clinical team won, and in my opinion, the team that wanted it more won. So it was amazing experience. Something that probably nobody of the team will forget. Still, it's difficult to forget, because I can see clips of the goal still, even today. Some of the fans, and some of still obviously celebrating. So it's fantastic. It's great. It's great to be able to give some happiness to our fans who has had a tough year.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we're talking off air, and obviously I was saying that it's just a shame that because of COVID, because that stadium would have had thousands of fans in it. It doesn't matter what Celtic and Rangers play at over a season, the fans will turn up and they will back their team, kind of thing. That's the kind of tribal atmosphere that they've got. In terms of looking at other players in the market, have you got your eye on anyone for Celtic, especially which homegrown talent do you think has a real bright future? Looking for a big exclusive here, Fran.
I mean, you got the exclusive in every single squad. I mean, we got some of at Celtic, we got some of the best talent in the country, and they want to stay here. One of the reasons they want to stay here, it might be because they support the club, of course, but one of the reasons is we play them, we trust them, we play them, we coach them, and we give them game time, and we give them game time against any team. As you know, I think twice already the average age of our team has been 22 to 23 year old. That's a very, very young team. So yeah, we try. So if you see every single player in our squad, if they keep even if I name them now, if they keep the feet on the ground and they keep working hard, they don't think they already made it, and they know that they have to reach the potential which they haven't yet because of their age, then they got a bright future. And you can see any of our players, Kate Nicholson, Rebecca McAllister, Chloe Warrington, even players that we just signed. Jacinta is only 19. Issy is only 19. There are teenagers with amazing tools to be successful. Now they have to work hard, to work hard for the team, work hard for themselves, to look after themselves on the pitch and off the pitch, and they will be I think they will be referenced in the women game if they carry on the way that they've been doing now. So you got there a few, and I'm missing a few more, like Tegan Bowie. We got to play some Monica Forsyth and Paige McAllister. So we got many. We got many all young, and if they obviously not everyone will be in the Scottish national team, but I can see a few of those names in their national teams.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, Scott Brown is obviously departing Celtic in the next couple of weeks. A massive, massive legend of the club, but a Celtic great. He's been there nearly 15 years. In terms of your captain, do you see similarities? I don't know how much you know of Scott Brown, but in terms of, do you see similarities in the dressing room with your captain?
In terms of her leadership, obviously she's a great player. She's a very composed player who transmits this composure to the team. For me, is massive because of the way I wanted him to play. You need to be brave to play for us. You need to be brave. If you panic on the ball, you will struggle because the team demand you to be brave, to make the right decisions under pressure. Obviously, without pressure it's easy, but under pressure. And I think Kelly is great at it. He's a player that doesn't panic, that trusts her abilities. She covers a lot of ground. She talks well. So I think she's a great captain. Obviously, the main difference between Scott Brown and Kelly is the amount of trophies that they both have lifted. So I would love Kelly to have a career as successful as, I think, even half as successful as Scott Brown. But obviously, Kelly is the first time that Kelly has been in a professional team. Before today, she's always been in amateur teams. So obviously, she hasn't had the same opportunities than any male player would have. But yeah, I think Celtic is working hard. Not only we are working hard on the pitch, but people in charge of us, people in the offices, the board are working hard to provide better resources. Every time we get better and better and better. And the end goal would be to be as successful as our main side is. Obviously, it will take time. It's only our first year. We have to be realistic and keep the feet on the ground, keep humble, and keep working hard. But that's the goal. That's the goal. You cannot be Celtic and not be a dominant team. That cannot happen. We have to be one of the best teams in Europe with time. So that's the goal. It's good to aim there and then end up being just the best team in Scotland. I will be happy with that as well. But it will take a lot of work and it will take time.
Yeah, I mean, and just in terms of wrapping up, I mean, what is your ambitions for the club and indeed the future for yourself?
For the club, as I say, I would like to see Celtic a team that get every year into the last 16, last 8 semi-finals of the Champions League. That's a very, very ambitious goal, but was life without dreams. So that's what we should all be working for. But we have to also be realistic, know what the investment that other clubs in Europe are putting and the possibilities that other clubs have and the possibilities that we have. And then, let's see how we can maximize our resources, be clever, trust our youth talent, build a philosophy that we are building that produce talent and keep them and make world-class talent. That's my goal for the team. And then, of course, the most important thing, win trophies. We have to win trophies. Just because we are Celtic, it's almost we have the obligation of win trophies. This is what our fans want. They are used to win. We want them to be proud of us. Therefore, we have to win. For me personally, I never think over now. So my dream is right now is what I'm doing. What is going to happen in 2 years' time? Really, I don't care too much. I care what I'm doing now, and that's why. For example, when Everton came, I was just doing what I love, so it's difficult to think about the next step. I love what I do. I love where I am. I love the city. I love the community. I really like the fans, and they're funny and they are very passionate. Probably I experienced both sides. I experienced fans that weren't happy, and I experienced fans that were delighted. Definitely, the delighted ones is brilliant. I've been in the stadium with fans and the lights, and unique experience. So yeah, I'm in a great place, and I got great support in terms of people above me, and I got great support in my players and stuff. So I think we got the opportunity to build something magical, and hopefully this is what we do. Hopefully this year, but if not, we will go next year with the same ambition and the same enthusiasm to try to make it happen for us and for our fan base and our community.
Yeah, I think, and just to kind of wrap up in terms of, we spoke off air. I know you're from Madrid, and you didn't want to kind of pin your mast to any particular team. Obviously, it's very, very tight, and La Liga's 6 points separating 4 teams. But and I loved. I have to tell the guys here that Fran was saying that he doesn't have a team in Spain that he supports. He's a Celtic supporter. He's become a Celtic supporter. So I absolutely love that. But in terms of, if I can just push you to think, who do you see in the next 4 games winning La Liga out of the 4 that's kind of there fighting?
This weekend we will know. The top 4 play each other. Probably the winner of Atletico Barcelona would be either first or second, and then if Sevilla win, they are very strong. They are playing good football. Obviously, Real Madrid lost yesterday, and probably mentally they are not in the best state. But then it's a team that again used to win all the time. They know how to win. They know how to compete. They know how to go out from bad situations. So if the game is if Barcelona win and Real Madrid win, which on paper is what could happen, then Real Madrid would be top. And it's only 3 or 4 games left, so anything can happen. Really, it's difficult to predict. Probably Atletico got an advantage of 13 points, and now they wasted. So maybe if they can come back from that, I don't know. Probably I would say between Barcelona and Madrid, one of those 2, if I have to predict. But obviously it's difficult. There are 4 teams, which is great, to be honest, for the Spanish league, and that the 4 teams got chances of winning the league, and you don't really know who. And that's one of the main attractives of the English Premier League has in the last 10 years. Always several teams fighting for. Obviously this year is not the case, but always several teams fighting for the position. So yeah, it's exciting for me as a Spanish. It's exciting. I follow I watch the Spanish games, and this one is a very good weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an absolute belter of a weekend in La Liga. Obviously, the top 4 playing each other. In terms of your game, obviously, I just want to let the guys know that your game with Motherwell is live on BBC Scotland on Sunday afternoon at 12 p.m. So be sure to tune in and cheer on Fran and the girls, kind of thing. Fran, listen, thanks very much for giving up your time. I know, as I say, you've got a busy schedule coming up, but I really, really appreciate it. And as I say, it's getting guys like you on that'll help the podcast grow and help the page grow, kind of thing. So as I say, thanks very much.
No problem, it's my pleasure. And anytime I'm here, and obviously we're coming to a very busy schedule of 2 games per week for the next 3 weeks. Something that we are not used to, but as soon as I got a spare hour, I'm delighted to come to the podcast and then to answer the questions of the fans. I love to engage with the fans, especially I love the fans to engage with the girls, with the team, and I really, anything I can do to help, I'm delighted. So thank you very much for having me.
No worries. And that's all we've got time for, guys. As I say, we'll be back on Sunday with me and Paul. Will be joined by Anthony Joseph, top Scottish journalist and Sky Sports editor. So we'll be live. I think we're going live at 8 p.m. on Sunday. So for 1 week only, kind of thing. We'll be back on the usual Saturday. Next Thursday, I think it's going to be next Thursday. We've got Rory Hamilton from Premier Sports and BT Sports, top commentator. So glad to get him on. Just need to set that up. But in terms of it's been another great week. We are available to download on Spotify. The show will be available on Spotify straight after, within the next half an hour. Our thanks to our sponsor again, Club Badge FC. Give them a like, give them a follow. They're doing great things. They have a licensed official licensed suppliers of the Scotland national team. So, they're doing great things. We thank them for their support. Follow us on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Celtic FC Appreciation, and we're also on Instagram. We appreciate everybody that likes the page and follows the page, kind of thing. But until then, we'll be back on Sunday. So, as I say, thanks for your support, guys, and share the page, share the broadcast. So, hail, hail.